So, lots of big changes coming up here in the month of December. Of course, we are entering into Sagittarius season here on the 15th of December, ushering in a new season. And Sagittarius is always about the future, looking forward, looking ahead, making new plans, going on new ventures. And so, this is an appropriate time with the Sun in Sag to think about the upcoming year and where your future and your future plans are headed moving here into the year of 2021. We also have a solar eclipse in Scorpio at 22 degrees of Scorpio happening here on the 14th of December. So we are here in eclipse season. Huge moment that we will talk about in your horoscope. And we have the big event that is happening on the 21st of December, the Great Conjunction that is happening in Capricorn at 6 degrees. So, yes, this is from a sidereal perspective. And for those of you who are new to this channel, you are probably familiar with me going through the tropical astrology. Huge shift that I've decided to go through here as I have meditated and tuned in with my guides and have come to the final decision to switch to Sidereal. And if you are interested in a birth chart or any of my services, I am still offering it in tropical astrology. So I'm not here to force or sway your decision or choices in terms of the system that you are using. But for the remainder and moving forward here with this channel, I will be using Sidereal astrology. And so if you want to know more about this Great Conjunction, go ahead and check out my video on the Great Conjunction in Aquarius. Of course, I will be talking about it in terms of it being in Capricorn here in this horoscope. Also, if you are interested in my astrology class, it is available on Udemy, on Patreon, and it is also available in the private Facebook group Astrology Lessons with Daquan Jones. Also, feel free to check out my blog and to join the free group Astrometaphysical Love and Light, where you can share any of your spiritual wisdom, motivational advice, or simply just positive posts in the group to spread some light and joy. Much needed as we have been going through this difficult and complicated time here in 2020. And things are shifting and looking different as we're moving ahead. We are shifting into a number 5 year, the number 5 correlating with the planet Mercury, as there will be a lot of interesting shifts and changes moving ahead and plenty of opportunities. Once again, keep in mind that even though we are in this state, for those of you who are continuing to work and move forward and to take on new ventures, this is your time for success and opportunity to pour in as we're shifting ahead into this number 5 year. Also, this is us moving ahead into the year of the ox, where yes, hard work and discipline is needed. Remembering that the ox was the one who supported the rat who ran the race. So this is your time to support your dreams, support your goals, keep pushing forward, not allowing the state or the situation of where you are at to stop you from pushing ahead. So lots of new shifts and changes that we are seeing as we are moving ahead here into the next year. Hi, Scorpio. So I am going to put your card pulling at the beginning of your horoscope, as I forgot to add it in at the end. So this is your card for December 2020. You got Aries. So this is a huge time of moving forward, of ambition, of courage, of strength. Many of you are going to see forward progress, and many of you are going to gain a sense of courage, of confidence, of self-expression that wasn't previously there in the past. So this is a huge time to stay ambitious, to continue to go after your goals, which is in your nature anyway, but continuing to remind yourself to push forward towards your goals, to keep going, to stay motivated during this time. Hello to all of the sidereal Scorpio moons and ascendants. This is especially for your ascendant, as we will be talking about how these planets will affect your different houses. So this is a huge time, and I'm starting here with Scorpio, as the sun is currently in Scorpio. We are in this moment of entering into darkness, moving into the winter time. So Scorpio being that investigator, that detective of going deep into those dark places. As we are here, this is a huge time for self-reflection, to go deep within, to do the necessary healing and transformation, especially as we are getting ready for a new year to come. And of course, we will see that shift into the sun in Sagittarius on the 15th of December. This will be a shift ahead, as Sagittarius is all about the vision for the future, moving forward, what we're planning, looking ahead. And so that higher learning, that higher vision of Sagittarius, very appropriate as we are looking ahead into the next year of what we want to accomplish, what we want to achieve, and what that next year is going to look like. So starting here with you, Scorpio, and starting off the year, we do have the moon sitting in Gemini, as we just came out of a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. So that was a lunar eclipse sitting in your 7th house of relationships, where many of you may have saw some new people coming into your lives, or some old people who you haven't spoken to in a while, coming around, visiting you, talking to you, connecting with you through social media and otherwise. Some new contacts and some old contacts coming in, where you are starting to become socially popular with this moon energy that has activated your 7th house. So this is a huge time of moving forward in terms of friendships, in terms of business, in terms of partnerships, looking ahead here as we are closing out this year of 2020. And so with the moon here sitting in Gemini, this is a time of building deeper connections. This is a time of receiving benefits through others. This is a time of shared resources, as this is your 8th house of shared resources, where Gemini is deposited. Also, with Gemini here, this is the house of secrets. And for many of you here with Scorpio ascendant, you are very much honest, straight to the point. You are all about digging deep for that information and sharing it out. So this is why we have Gemini sitting in the 8th house, very much communicative of these more hidden or deeper topics, sitting here in the 8th house. And so full moon lunar eclipse, big time of really helping others. You will see others coming towards you, seeking out advice, seeking out healing to help them through their transformation process. Now on the 10th of December, we have Venus entering into your sign of Scorpio. So this is Venus entering into your 1st house. Once again, activating that popularity, activating that ability to be charming, to be pleasing, to be socially interactive with others. So a lot of popularity, a lot of influence that can come here moving into December, as many of you will see an increase in the people who are coming your way, seeking out your advice, seeking to connect to you, with Venus here in your 1st house. On the 14th, we have a solar eclipse, remembering that we are currently here in eclipse season, right? We just entered into this eclipse season here on the 30th of November. And so we are here in this eclipse season, and eclipse season is always a huge time of change. It is also a huge time of things coming to the light. So what is it that you need to release and let go? All of these truths, all of these fears coming to the surface as the eclipse is in a total time of darkness and the light coming out of that. So, this is a huge time for transformation, for change, for enlightenment through this eclipse. And perfect time as we are getting ready to shift into a new year. So, with this solar eclipse that is in your first house, this is a time of looking at yourself, looking at your behaviors, looking at the way that you are presenting yourself, the way that you're interacting with others, right? This is sitting in your first house of personality and physical appearance. And so for many of you, you're looking at the changes that need to be made in terms of you, in terms of your behavior, for some of you, even in terms of your physical body, right? Many of you may be looking at how can you change health-wise here with this solar eclipse in your first house. So brand new fresh start that is coming here as many truths are coming to the surface where there is a lot that needs to be worked on and addressed, especially as this is in your own sign of Scorpio, where many of you are very familiar with the intensity of your own sign of how these deep healing and transformation needs to take place by going into the darkness, going into the fears, facing the unknown. That is this Scorpio mysteriousness and darkness where we are shifting here into the winter months, this time of deep reflection. Now, moving forward on the 15th, we are shifting into that new season of Sagittarius, Sun entering into Sagittarius, where this is a time of looking ahead in terms of where are we going in the next year? What are things looking like moving forward? What are your future plans, your goals looking ahead? And Sagittarius is in your second house of your finances, of your gains, of your possessions, of your family legacy, right? The second house is of the things that you value, the things that you hold close to you. So this sun entering into your second house, activating this illumination and this focus on your business, on your finances, on how you can grow and succeed. And so many of you are looking ahead into 2021 in terms of how can you grow business-wise? How can you grow financially? How can you grow in terms of your security? And many of you may be coming into this space of feeling more confident, feeling more proud of your achievements, of your accomplishments, of the way that things are moving and progressing, looking ahead, especially as that sun has been sitting there in your first house. Many of you already starting to feel those effects of the confidence, of the pride, of the joy, looking ahead in terms of what is coming. Now, on the 17th, we have Mercury entering into Sagittarius. And so this is Mercury entering into your second house, starting to become more social, more interactive in terms of your business, in terms of your finances, in terms of your family. And so for many of you, you may be starting to open up more and connecting more with your home and your family. But for others of you, you are thinking about business deals, you're thinking about business partnerships, you're thinking about new ideas and new innovations to put into your business looking ahead here. On the 21st, we have the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. This is happening in Capricorn at around 6 degrees in your third house. And for many of you, you have been feeling the effects of Jupiter and Saturn sitting in your third house after being in your second house earlier this year. And so this is a huge shift as there is more confidence, there is more of this openness to connect, to interact, to show others your potential, your gifts with this Jupiter Saturn. And yes, this is a Jupiter that is debilitated and significantly slowed down by Saturn. However, this is Jupiter, which is a benefic for you in your chart as it is ruling your second and fifth houses. So huge moment of really starting to open up more, starting to express yourselves more, starting to feel more confident, more expressive in terms of putting your thoughts, putting your business, putting your potential out into the world. So this is a huge moment as we are seeing this great conjunction that is taking place. And we will see Pluto join along at the end of the year as well. So we will talk about that in a moment. On the 23rd, we see Mars enter into Aries. So Mars has been sitting here in Pisces for quite a bit. It went through that retrograde back in September. So Mars is now entering into your 6th house. And for many of you, you have been feeling the effects of Mars in your 5th house, whether this has meant a lot of passion in terms of your creativity, in terms of expressing yourself, planning, creating new things, right? Many of you have been writing, working on projects, dealing with school, looking at relationships moving forward. Some of you have even had difficulties or conflicts within relationships, especially as Mars came direct. There may have been arguments, there may have been difficulties there. So, looking forward here with Mars entering into your 6th house, huge time. Your Uranus has really been sitting here in your 6th house alone, where some of you have been feeling possible ups and downs in terms of your work life or your health or your routines. And so Mars coming in, activating this 6th house, as Aries is the ruler here of your 6th house. So very prominent house for many of you here with Scorpio ascendants. This is a huge time of seeing some more forward progress and movement. If you've been feeling kind of sluggish or lazy previous to this, or if you have been feeling mood swings or feeling out of it in terms of your work or your health, this is a time to really start to see things moving forward. Those battles or challenges that have been putting you down, possibly for many of you, are starting to clear up as Mars is giving you the strength to push forward, to move forward, to get these things done. And some of you may have already felt the effects of Mars and Aries, as you are very intuitive and perceptive, and this is coming up very soon here for many of you. On the 29th, we have a full moon in Gemini. This is happening at 3 degrees of Gemini. So this is a full moon in your 8th house. This is a time, once again, to release your fears, your trauma, your difficulties, and perfect timing as we will be sitting here 2 days away from the end of 2020. So last moment here, last opportunity to transform, to heal, to work through your unresolved issues, and to really do whatever dealings or business needs to be done in terms of your shared resources. On the 30th, our last major shift that is happening here is Pluto entering into Capricorn. So now Pluto is joining the party with Saturn and Jupiter. And Pluto sitting here in your 3rd house, finally giving you a tremendous amount of courage, a tremendous amount of creativity, and a tremendous potential to express yourself more, as expression tends to be a difficulty for many of you with Scorpio ascendants, right? You are more of a deep philosophical communicator than a socially interactive communicator, right? Less small talk, less social interaction, more of these deeper, larger, more complex topics for many of you. And so as Pluto is coming into your 3rd house, this is giving you more power, more depth in terms of being able to express yourselves on a social level, socially interacting with your friends, with your neighbors, with your families, with those closest to you. So that was your breakdown for your December 2020 horoscope for Scorpio ascendant or moon. Once again, this is more so for your ascendant, but I want to thank you all for joining. Once again, if you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content coming up here in the future. And if you are interested in any of my services or joining in on the free group, or checking out my free astrology blog, go ahead down to my link. All of that will be down below in the description. Take care, Scorpio, and I will see you in the next video.